Hey Deb, it's Diane. I want to show you what's going on here and kind of find out maybe what you're doing on the templates. This is Atlantic Coast Prosthodontics, and I don't know if you can zoom in to see this or if you'll be able to see it on your bigger screen. But basically, when you send it in to me, you see there's the space here. And we don't want spaces. But then also, when you hit the click here button on Internet Explorer, it kind of looks funky. Like, you see how on here there's all this white space here, and then you go down, and this is kind of like, I mean, it's just chopped up. If you read this, like, as a reader, it looks really bad, okay? So let me show you what I'm going to do. So I went into the system, I grabbed the code, I dropped the code into Dreamweaver. I'm now in Dreamweaver. And the box that I sent you, I always have the box and the above wording at the top open because we're wanting to change the above wording. And I sent you a new wording where it says, if this message looks off in any way, please view through the browser. So I grab my box. I'm going to grab this little box here, and I'm going to go to the top of this template, and I'm actually going to just drop that box in the top of the template. Now, because I'm having these issues, I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm going to grab that one column, or 1 row by 2 column. I'm going to drop it down, and I'm going to add a new box because I can't have this anymore. So instead of messing with it every time, I'm going to just create a new one. So I'm going to go over my code, and I'm going to see that this box is 932 pixels across. So I'm going to take the box that I dropped in, I'm going to copy that, drop it in the top, and then I'm going to highlight it, go into my code, and I'm going to change the code of that box to 932 pixels, which you basically just type in the pixels. And then I'm going to make that center top to make sure that that's, the center top. And I'm going to make it the same color as the box below. I'm going to make this 2 columns, just like it is below. And then I'm going to make sure that each one is center top again. And then I'm going to grab everything here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to paste it into the top here. Okay? And then I'm going to look and see from here to here, okay, we want to make sure that's the same width, so I'm going to drag my little box over there, so now that's the same, okay? Now this box that I brought in from the template box, that's not the same size as this box, so I need to find out what size is this box. So I go into here, and the code says it's 625, so I'm going to go to this box, I'm going to go to the code, I'm going to highlight the 520, I'm going to make it 625, don't hit enter, just make it 625, and then I'm going to put my cursor in there. The box is set at default. Most of the things that you're doing are going to be left middle. So I'm going to make it left middle. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste a bunch of them over here. Just right click, paste, right click, paste, right click, paste, right click, paste, right click, paste. Keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, okay? Now as you notice, as I'm doing that, this isn't growing. This is staying the same width. So I know that the first one is going to be this. I'm going to cut and paste it out of there. I'm going to go to the top. That it's not going to be left middle. It's going to be center middle. And you have that as the background being green. I'm going to come down here and move this. Let's see, scroll back down. I'm going to cut and paste this. So I know that the next one's going to be two columns. We know this is going to be center middle because that's a picture in there. And I'm just going to simply cut and paste everything that you have going on down here because there's something wrong with the template. So I just basically very quickly, within a couple of seconds, it's not going to take you more time, not too much more time to do this, but it needs to be done because we keep running into these problems. And it's taken me a lot of time to go in there and fix this. Okay, same with this area here. What's your snore score? You don't have it separated in a reader-friendly rather way. It's kind of like You know, it's not consistent. You know, up here you have the center middle headline and then the information. This, you have it left, and then it's kind of like the questions are pushed together. It just doesn't look very clean. Make it clean. You know, the source always should be a smaller. It always should be a smaller font than the content on the top. It looks like you're just cutting and pasting. I know that you're trying to save time, but really, when you do this stuff, you shouldn't be spending too much time on it to begin with. So making it look clean will save you in making changes later on. This one's center middle. You know, you want to look at it and make it look clean and make it look really, you know, good, because this is what we're representing to the client on our services. But as you see, I'm going to grab all this stuff that's down here, and there's nothing else left. I'm going to delete that then. I'm going to take that box, that old box that has some kind of weird code in it. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to paste that last part, make that center middle. And then all these other boxes that we had down here, now I don't need those, so I'm going to simply delete them. And then if you put your cursor on the side of the very furthest side of the 100% row, it will squeeze everything up. You see how it did that? It squeezed everything up. So now that should be cleaner. I'm going to grab the code, edit, select all, edit, copy. I'm going to go back into the system. I'm going to drop it into the system, and I'm going to change the font because I'm not liking the font that this is doing on here. It doesn't look clean. It looks like it's all kind of just, it looks like it's copy and pasted, okay? This needs to be the same font size as others. You want to probably do 14, font size 14 on most of your stories, 18 or 20 on the titles. We want this to be white here. So again, you want your titles to be 18 or 20, and then you want your articles to be 14. You want your source codes to be 10. That just makes it very consistent, makes it clean. If you have a big space like you have in here, you can make that one 16. That one looks good. And then everything lines up a lot cleaner, a lot crisper. And then let's see if that takes away the spacing issues that we had. So basically you're removing all of your boxes, including the main box, which is usually that 1 row by 2 columns. You're creating it from scratch. But if you look at how long this video has been running, it's not that long. You know what? And I didn't change the color of the bold at the top of that because you can't really see it. And we want people to see that top bold part that says, to view this message, because more and more people, I think, are reading those so that they know how to add to safe sender and whatnot. It's a new thing that I read that most of the national companies now are doing that more often. They're doing that now because it just helps people to understand more. Hey, if you don't see something, click on the browser. If you can't see a box, this is what you do. So let's wait and see what that looks like. But that should remove all the spacing issues. Okay, that is something that we need to do on every one. So you basically, and I just redid your Kensick, and if you look here, there's still spacing issues there, which I don't understand because I took it all from scratch. That's weird too. So I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to create new boxes completely again on those 2 areas. But if I go to the click here and it looks good on the click here, I'm going to go ahead and send that to the client so I can at least get that rolling. That's on the Kenzik one, which is right here. But I'm going to have to go back in and fix that and just basically, again, add new boxes. Remove the boxes that were there, add new boxes. But there's code that is wrong, and so we need to just find a way to remove that code. So I basically just showed you, and I'm just doing emails here while I wait for the next one to come in, but let's see with removing what that did. Here's Atlantic Coast. It looks more clean with the way that, look, there's no spacing issue. Oh, there is a spacing issue there. Okay, so there is still something going on there, but if you go to the click here button, there are no spacing issues, so I can send that to the client. So again, what I'm going to do from here, because there is still an issue, I'm going to remove this box. I'm going to put a new box underneath this box and add it again, and hopefully that will clear it out. So please let me know if you have questions on that, and that way we can get that fixed. But you basically start from scratch in the body again, and then you cut and paste the content that's in the box in a new box. Don't use the old boxes. Eventually we'll clear out all of the problems. Eventually it will all fix itself up, but we just need to continue to grab from Dreamweaver that new box and put it into the old template by removing the main screen here, the main template, adding a new one, and eventually it will be to where we won't have any more. Okay? Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.